At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family, because our members become our family. It is not about competition, but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness. Tell you what I learned from this book. I read this book in Spanish. I believe it's in English. I don't know how good it's in English. I have no idea. So it's called Flying Over the Swamp, Volar sobre el Pantano. I read. This is the first book I read when I started improving my life. This is an amazing book. I love it. The author, his name is Carlos Cuauhtémoc Sanchez, and I learned a lot from this book. So let me tell you the story. This guy, the way they write, he writes like a novel style. So there is a couple. So the guy used to be in a gang. He used to be a gang member. The wife was a lady that she was raped by the boyfriend, by the ex-boyfriend and the friends, and therefore she was rehabbing. The sister of Sid, the sister of Sid, I believe is his name. She was a prostitute because she was raped by the uncle when she was a child. So the book is based on tragedy. So these three people are in tragedy. All of them grew up in dysfunctional families, and they went through some kind of difficulty in their life, a catastrophe, right? And a lot of people, we all going through difficult things, catastrophe, traumas, and things like that. And this book talks about how can you overcome that. It tells you concepts about how to become a better person and how life works and how you can do anything to change your life and make it better. But I'm gonna tell you what really changed my life from this book. So this book, let's go over the chapters real quick, and then I tell you the concepts that I learned. To me, these concepts are amazing. Anyway, the first book talks about the first chapter talks about their tragedy. I just can't summarize the whole thing. I just tell you what is the story about, but I tell you what I learned. I go straight forward. I go straight to that. So I learned this is based on the Maslow hierarchy. So for you to be able to be happy and transcend, you have to climb into the Maslow's pyramid hierarchy. So let me explain that to you. Let me tell you how it works. So let's talk about math a little bit so it makes sense to you. For you to be able to multiply and divide, you need to know how to subtract and you need to know how to add. For you to be able to factor, you need to know how to divide, you need to know how to multiply, and you need to know how fractions work. So if you don't know anything of that, the rest of you, it won't make sense. But once you learn how to subtract, how to add, how to divide, how to multiply, how the fractions work, you can do factoring, and you can go back and forth. Once you know factoring, that doesn't mean that you forget how to add. That doesn't mean that you forget how to subtract and things like that. So the same thing with the pyramid. For you to be able to go back and forth into all these levels, you need to know them all, and once you know them all, you can go back and forth. Now you can go back and forth in your whole life, in different months, in different weeks. You can go back and forth during the day. So let me tell you how it works. So every level is a human need, and for you to be happy, and for you to transcend, and for you to get the fullness of your life, you have to climb up all the way to the 8th level. So the first level is the physical needs. So the physical needs is you need to go to the bathroom, you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to be clean, you need to be sober. That's physical needs. Okay? You can get lost in that level, which many people do, in vice such as drinking, being conceited, just thinking about being beautiful, just thinking about being handsome, and spending a lot of time on just the superficial part of your physical instead of the inside. So you can get lost on those things. You can get lost on only working on that, or with any vice such as drinking or drugs or things like that. So for you to climb up that level, you need to understand that it's basic things that you need to do. Once again, eat, exercise, which I didn't mention before. It just came into my mind right now that it's part of it. Exercise, eat, go to the bathroom, drink water, and take care of yourself, showering yourself, cleaning yourself. So once you meet that level, you go to the next level. The next level is the level of security. For you to understand that everything is going to be okay. And for you to understand that everything is going to be just fine, you need to trust, you need to have faith. And that's where God enters. You need to understand that everything is going to be okay. So for you to understand that level and don't get lost, it's where people can get lost, I should say, by being afraid, but thinking about the uncertain future and just trying to make the futures certain because nobody knows what's the future is gonna bring. So people can get lost by being afraid and by trying to make the future certain. So the thing right there, the second level, is about having faith, about putting your whole trust in God. And when I talk about God, I'm not talking about a religious figure. I'm talking about God, love, about the real power, about the real creator. And you can get through God in different ways. Doesn't have to go into religion. Anyway, now we go to the third level. The third level is acceptance. Acceptance, it's a human need. For us to be happy, for us to grow, for us to go to the next level, we need to be accepted. If we are not accepted, then actually we take bad decisions because of that. We become suicidal. Sometimes we become depressed. We get into drugs and things like that because we are not accepted. Now we make a lot of mistakes because we are trying to be accepted by the wrong people. For example, when I was younger, I want to be accepted by gang members. I want to be accepted by the wrong people. I didn't understand that for me to be accepted for the right people, I needed to become the right person. So yes, it is important for us to be accepted, but we need to think about who should be accepting us. We don't want to be accepted by everybody. We want to be accepted by the right people who's going to help us grow. So that's the fourth level. The third level. The fourth level is the materialistic level. That's when you need the basics, such as an example, you need a roof where to go to sleep, right? You need clothes for you to cover yourself. You need a car if you don't have transportation and it's difficult for you to travel to point A to point B. You need a car for work. You need a car for to take you go buy groceries. To any transportation, you need a car. That doesn't mean that you need a luxury car. You just need a car. There is part on the world, there is a lot of transportation in different ways, and therefore you may not need a car in those areas. But there is material needs that you need for you to cope with this society. Now, this book taught me that most people is lost in those lower levels. Most people get into the materialistic level, which is the fourth, and they're stuck in there. They think about getting a better house and think about getting. And I'm not saying it's something wrong with getting a better house or getting a better car. I'm not saying that. There is people that can afford it and they have climbed to the other levels that we're going to talk about in a minute. What I'm saying is that people, they spend all their life, they spend all their time putting a lot of value into the materialistic area. Just like in the beginning, in the physical area, they put a lot of time and a lot of value and a lot of effort into the superficial area. The physical area, they're trying to look the most beautiful, the most handsome, and they're just stuck in that area. The same happened with the materialistic. People they work a lot, they become a slave for work, and they become a slave for debt, and they put a lot of money on getting better things, which by the end, instead of helping us to progress, we become a slave for such things. So you have to keep in mind that when I say getting better things, that doesn't mean they're bad. I'm just saying that people waste their time, their life, putting a lot of effort into getting to the materialistic area. So they stuck buying a better car, a bigger house, brand clothes, and they just want to get more materialistic things, and that's what they do. They go back and forth into the acceptance, being accepted by the wrong people. They go back into the physical, trying to look good, and then they go into having some faith, and then they go into the materialistic work to get more stuff, and they're stuck right there. Now, the next 4 levels are the superior zones of awareness. This is amazing. To me, this was an eye-opening. The 5th level is learning. Many people, when they finish school, they stop learning. They stop progressing. They think because they finished with the school, that's all they need to learn. Whatever degree they got, they didn't get a degree, and they just, once again, they spend their life working for material things, and they think they're progressing. When you are aware on the next level, which is the 5th one, is learning, you take learning as a habit that is going to be for life, because you know that you don't know it all, and therefore you continue searching, either to grow, to make your family functional. It's nothing. Making a family functional is not just a gift. It's something that you need to learn how to do it. Therefore, there is a lot of books that you can read about. Becoming better in your career is not whatever you just learn in school and that's enough. You have to continue up to research. You have to learn a lot from other people who have done it before, for you to be able to be in the financially independent. You need to learn about money. You need to know how it works. Things don't come out of nothing. You need to learn. So when you hit the 5th level of learning, you understand that you are very aware that it must be a habit, and you need to continue putting a lot of things in your head. So after that, if you hit that level of learning, the 5th, you go to the 6th level. The 6th level is teaching. That's very impressive, because if you learn something and you're very good at it, it's easier for you to teach it. And now it's not only easier for you to teach it, you learn more by teaching it, and it clears out a couple of things in your head. Not only that, but you also helping the other person to know more and to overcome difficulties. Now you're not stuck only in those material areas. You're learning, you passing that knowledge to other people, and you helping the world. So now you're in a superior awareness where many people are not. They don't continue learning. If you talk to people, most people, if you go talk to people they will tell you they don't read. They don't watch seminars, so they don't go to seminars. They don't continue studying. They feel stressed when they study, when they go to school. Instead of them learning and studying and getting knowledge, they just want to finish the work instead of continue learning. So most people don't read. Those people don't continue with their education. I'm saying most people. Maybe you're different. Maybe you are continuing with your education, which is good. And if you do that, you know that teaching, now you helping the world. You know that teaching is good for the rest, because just like other people's teaching you, you are teaching other people. Now you're helping the world. So that's the 6th level. Now the 7th level, which is something that I didn't learn to do until I was in pain, until I was into depression, and then I needed somebody to give me courage and listen to my problem and empathize with me. That's when I learned that it's important to help the needy. I used to be very egocentric, super egocentric. I used to go to the church and carefully pull $1 out of my pocket and put it in the basket. And the reason why I pulled that $1 out of my pocket and put it on the basket, it wasn't because I want to give that $1. It was because I want to give an impression that I was giving some money. But I wasn't there to help. I wasn't even there to learn, because I was there only because it was a burden. It feels like I needed to be there. But I wasn't open-minded to learn out of a sermon and things like that. Anyway, when you in that 7th level, you understand that you're here to help. So you can help in many ways. One of the ways is exactly what I was starting this level, is by listening to people, not judging them, understand them, why they're in pain, are they being abused, are they regretting some mistake they made, are they trying to tell you about how much pain they're going through. Whatever the reason is, they need somebody to talk to. Maybe they're under stress and they don't know what decision they're gonna make. You're not there to make the decision for them, but maybe by giving an advice or by them talking to you, their mind clear up and they can make a better decision. There is a lot of ways you can help a person by listening, and that's a powerful way. Another way you can help is by giving money away to those charities. They help a lot of animals. They help the world. They help women. They help men. They help addicted people. They help kids. I mean, there is a lot of ways you can plant a tree. There is many ways, but when you understand that you're here to help the needy, and you give a hand without expecting anything from them, that's level 7. You're now more aware, and you are here to make a bigger change. And the last level is the 8th level. The 8th level It's when you find your purpose. That's when you have a connection with God, and you understand that you're here to improve the world. And that's something that you only know how to do it. And now your life is given to God. Now your life is given to that purpose. So every single thing you do it with the best intentions. We are human beings. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna make wrong decisions. We are going to continue fight with us to do the right thing. I'm not saying that's going to be easy. What I'm saying is, but now you are aware of your purpose, and therefore you spend a lot of your time doing the right thing, helping the animals, helping the people that are around you, helping your family to become better, helping your clients to get out of the bad path, pulling to become better, to succeed, save their souls, help them. So that's what I learned with this book. I think those 8 levels, of course, this book gives you a better explanation of that. So I really recommend you read it. It's not only teach you those 8 levels that I completely, their needs. You have to think their needs. I mean, for you to be happy to transcend their needs. It's like exercise or reading. If you want to have a life, if you want to start hurting when you're 40, when you want to start aging, you want to start having disease, you want to start gaining weight, then don't exercise, don't eat healthy. It's not a need for you to survive if you don't exercise and eat healthy, right? It's not a need, you can survive. But that doesn't mean that you're going to have a high quality of life. But if you do exercise, if you do eat healthy, now you have a higher quality of life. The same with reading. I met a guy who didn't know how to read. He was a truck driver. He made good money. He survived. But can you imagine how he lived without knowing how to read? Not even a sign. He just go with the signs of traffic, not because he knows how to read it, because he knows how they look like. Writing a contract. Trying to express yourself, reading a contract, a letter, an email, whatever it is. He can still. That doesn't mean that he's high in a quality of life. So the same with these levels. There are needs for you to have the best life, for the reason why you made it and do your purpose. You can live without meeting all the levels, but what kind of life you gonna have? It's not gonna be a happy life. I've been in the other side, and I can tell you that I wasn't happy until I discovered those levels. So you learn that from this book. And another thing that you learn, like I said, you learn a lot other concepts about how overcome adversity, like these 3 people do in this book. They tell you the stories, they tell you how they overcome that adversity, what conclusions they made in life. This is based on a true story. And that's all I can tell you about this book. Thank you so much. I hope you like it. Please look for this book. Like I said, I believe it's in English. I don't know how great the translation is. I haven't read it in English. I read it in Spanish. But I know it's an amazing book. So I hope you get it and it changed your life just like it did to mine.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed the content offered here, then I know you will enjoy these books. These are great tools to lead you to successful weight loss, better health, and greater happiness.